I'm literally celebrating 10,000 friends that I've made this past 3 months on Facebook. Thank you so much to everybody that follows me on Facebook. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for listening to my voice. You are valued. I just want to talk about something today. I saw someone commenting on one of my posts saying that there are some artists that have been cancelled, some South African artists that have been cancelled at the Zimfest. This is a Zimbabwean music festival. I don't know much about the Zimbabwean music festival, but when I saw the number of South African artists that were cancelled, at that Zimfest, I was wondering, how long is this festival? Why in the first place did they have so many South African artists that are going to be performing at this Zimbabwean festival? And when I see videos that are circulating from the people of South Africa, the South African artists who have been cancelled at the Zimbabwean festival, who are not going to be performing there, are allegedly, of course I didn't go to every artist's page, but they are allegedly the same artists who have not said anything about the issues of the people of South Africa. I'm so proud of Zimbabwe. First of all, there's that video that I made about boring countries, and some people got offended because I was talking about global social impact of the people influenced by what? By the country and the culture. Zimbabwe is not a big country, but let me tell you something about Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans are very powerful people. They're very confident people. They're very dominant people. I have so much respect for Zimbabweans. You see, that video was not about the country. Hi, man. That video was not about the country. It was about influence. A lot of people got offended. They were like, oh, but you've never been to Gabon. It's a beautiful country. I think every country is beautiful to an extent, but it's not all people from the country that are impactful and influential on the globe. That's what the video was about. But Zimbabweans are people who are smart, they have impact, they have confidence, they have influence. I love that about Zimbabweans. And the other thing that you people need to know about Zimbabwean artists are very talented. Zimbabwe has got talent. There's talent in Zimbabwe. So that Zimbabwean festival should put Zimbabwean artists first. You see, the march and march of South Africa for border control, a functioning immigration system that prioritizes the people of South Africa, is something that other countries need to learn from. Yet again, South Africans, we are leading. There is no perfect revolution, okay? We can never minimize that it's important for South Africans to put South Africans first. Our president reminded us that it is in our constitutional right to march. The march was peaceful. The people of South Africa, they have a right to go and talk to their government when they need to talk to their government. They have a right to say, hey, government, fix this border issue so that our people can be prioritized. You understand? And that is something that all these Africans should be learning from, so that we can really have like a better Africa where nobody is running to the other place because home is not functioning. How are Zimbabwean artists going to thrive? How is Zimbabwe going to function if in the Zimbabwean festival there's more than 5 South African artists? How long is this festival? How long is a set of an artist from South Africa? Living in America for these past couple of years, I've had so many things being said about South Africans and South African artists. Who are the South African artists? South Africans, they don't travel. South Africans this. For the longest time in South Africa, we had a system where government supported our artists. Our artists knew from the beginning of the year, you would see a lineup that, okay, I have a gig in January in Cape Town, I have at this festival. The artists deserve to stay home and work at home. The artists were home performing everywhere because there was work for them at home. And there's nothing wrong with that. Going outside should be something that you do as a choice, not because you are running away, not because home is not functioning. So for a Zimbabwean festival to actually have a lineup where they prioritize South Africans is not right. That is putting the people of Zimbabwe last. And I'm so happy that they got cancelled. Now, to the artists of South Africa, I think it's important, guys, to talk about the fact that being an artist and having a platform and having a voice and having that gift, you are a chosen person. You're chosen to use your voice for change, for impact. So if you're an artist and you have the people that you're going to come back to and be like, hey, support me, vote for me, share my video, repost this. And then when there are matters that affect people, you don't even say nothing. I just don't think that's fair. And while you may think you're protecting your paycheck or the relationship with the promoter in Zimbabwe and everyone else, you need to know that by compromising the issues that put your people last, you are not winning either way. A true artist is an activist. Yes, the greatest artists of all time were activists. You know, one of the most respected artists in the world were activists. One of my favorite artists to ever come from Nigeria is Fela. Fela did not just stand in front of the microphone. He stood for his people. He was an activist. You understand? That's what made him a great artist. That's what makes his name reign till today. That's what makes all the other Nigerian artists tap into what his creativity and want to be like Fela. That's what makes a great artist. Miriam Makeba was not just on stage singing. She used her voice, her platform to speak for the people. A well-respected artist is someone that stands for something. It's not somebody that is biased and does not have a backbone because they are scared of being cancelled. You're not safe either way. As an artist right now, I can be cancelled by so many people because I speak the truth, and my opinion may not be favorable to everybody. But at the same time, you know what? I have a brand. I have always had a brand that stood up for the truth, and it always stood up for protecting my people and protecting women. Those are things for me that I've always been passionate about. I'm an American citizen. Yes, I have 2 passports. I could literally just sit here and be like, yo, that whole thing doesn't affect me. I can have my little gigs in America, have my money, and, you know, just stay out of that whole thing. But it is hypocrisy for me to come back to South Africa and say, you know what, guys, I have a show, hey, support me. I'm doing this, guys, repost my videos. But when South Africans have real issues, I'm silent. Stand up for something, say something. I think we should all be saying something, because where's that behavior getting you now? You're not winning. You're cancelled now there in Zimbabwe at the festivals. You can't even come back to your people, because these are the same people that saw that when they are suffering, the very same people that lift you up, you don't say anything on their behalf. You are cancelled in Zimbabwe. Now, what are you going to do? Even though that may look like retaliation, but at the same time, it's a good thing that Zimbabweans are learning that it is important to put their people first. You know, I was performing at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C., right? It was a series of Black voices, a series of Black American voices on the show. And I was also booked to perform at that festival. I was not the main act, but I was performing right before the main act. I kill a show. My band is good. I kill a show. I'm South African. I bring that energy. I have a great voice. I kill a show. You understand? When I got off stage, a lot of people were coming to me. They're like, oh my God, you were so great. Why were you not the main act? It's because it is about the Black voices of Americans. I was grateful that I was even given a platform to go and perform there. I grew up in South Africa when we had those festivals, like Ibuyele Khaya Festival. I remember being so excited to see Oliver Mtukudzi on stage. Oliver Mtukudzi is one of my... it's going to make me emotional. Oliver Mtukudzi is like one of my favorite artists ever, you know. And I was just so excited that I was going to see Oliver Mtukudzi perform. I was a kid, a dream come true to see Oliver Mtukudzi on stage in East London. But I remember... I don't know why this Oliver Mtukudzi thing, it makes me emotional, because I feel like I had a dream of being on stage with him, and he passed away before the dream came true. So I feel like I always have that thing. Anyway, back to my point. You cannot begin to imagine how great of an artist Oliver Mtukudzi is. But Oliver Mtukudzi was not a main act at the Ibuyele Khaya Festival because he's not South African. You understand? I remember his set was so short. He got off stage. I wanted to follow him. I wanted to follow him because I loved him so much. He was not the main act because the festival was for South Africans. And that's how it should be. If I go to Nigeria to perform now, they should give me a nice 10 minutes that, oh, we have a little bit of South Africa. But it is a Nigerian festival. It should put Nigerians first. So for me, I'm not mad at the fact that Zimbabweans have cancelled those South African artists. They should. There should be a lesson for all South African artists that we cannot keep quiet at the cost of our people. We are going to have a greater South Africa if we stand up for our people. And this whole fear of putting yourself on the line, you are not winning either way. I can be cancelled by anyone in the world, any country, but I don't want to be cancelled by South Africa because I don't stand up and support South Africa. That's not a good thing. It's really not a good thing. It's not a sign of pride in your country. And then lastly, another thing that I'm going to come and touch on here that I feel like is going to disturb our vibe. You see, this whole thing of using my romantic life as an argument, it's not going to work, that thing. You understand what I'm saying? My platform, even when I was married to that other man from another country, I still had a voice. I still spoke for South Africans. Yes, when Nelson Mandela was released out of prison, he went to go and marry the love of his life, Gracia Machel, who was from the Mozambique. But because he was a man, nobody said he was selling his country, was a sellout, he's blah, 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 blah. So my romantic life and my purpose are two different things. Yes, I can have a man from Australia. I can still be the voice of South Africa. So we're going to have to learn to leave my private parts out of, out of this whole conversation. You're not going to cut it with using that to silence me. It's not going to work. It's not going to work at all, because me standing up for South African voices does not mean I hate people who are not South Africans. I've never been a person who hates people. I don't hate. I'm for all Africans. But in order for us to have a functioning Africa, we have to understand that we cannot have a country where we support laws that compromise its people before foreign people. It's not fair. So my romantic life, take it out of this. Everybody catches feelings. Everybody can fall in love with anybody from anywhere. We might still do it again, but guess what? We will never stop being the voice of South Africa. That's it.